26th. It's National Pumpkin Day. Take a guess what we're making. We're making a pumpkin ale today, you betcha. October 26th, 2019, National Pumpkin Day. We got 3 pumpkins sitting here. We're going to get them cut up, get them weighed up there, but we're looking for about 5, maybe 6 pounds of pumpkin for this 5-pound batch of beer. Why wouldn't I? The little ones are really hard to cut in. You got to watch you don't cut your fingers off here. I hope I'm not filming something so silly. You need to put your knife. We got 8 pounds of pumpkin before it goes into the oven to get caramelized. So on with the pumpkin brew. National Pumpkin Day. How you doing? I'm doing just fine. All right, pumpkin was in the oven for 1 hour at 400 degrees, 375 degrees. We're going to caramelize this up. Looking good. 8 pounds of pumpkin for the 5-pound brew. So we let the pumpkin cool down a little bit here. We'll get the skin off it. Mash it. I think we're going to reuse the skin. We're going to boil that down some more. Oh, that's hurt boiling on my hand there. I can't get that one. It peels off relatively easy once it cools down. 1 cup of brown sugar in the 8 pounds of homemade pumpkin puree we're making here. 1 cup of brown sugar. The rest of the spices go into the boil. This is going to be dumped into the boil later and strained out. Man, oh man, oh man. But we want to get every bit of flavors out of this we can get. We're going to use 2 ounces of Hirschbrocker hops. Batch 82 today. National Pumpkin Day, October 26th. We're getting the strike water ready. We got the pumpkin in the oven, caramelizing. I'll say what can go wrong now. Plenty. Everybody knows how that goes. Plenty can go wrong. But we're getting the strike water up to temperature. Slowly, we want to dough in at 171 because the mash tun is cold. And that'll adjust the temperature to that to the grains. We got all the grains ground up today in a bag. And we're going to do kegging of the apple cinnamon beer. The second one, we got to get the reading in a hydrometer. And when we keg this to the keg, this brew is going to be dumped right in on top of the rest of the yeast that is in there and the krausen. We're just dumping it right in there. We're going to let it re-ferment on top of the old stuff that's in there. We'll see how it goes. It's going to give a good flavor to this pumpkin beer because it has cinnamon and everything in there. And one of the spices that are going to go in this one are going to be pepper, allspice, your standard pumpkin pie spices. We got 8 pounds, like I say, of this is allspice. We got 8 pounds of pumpkin in the oven right now. So we'll get back to you as we move along here. Later, batch number 2 of the apple cinnamon beer. We kegged one, we left the other one sit a week to see if she'd ferment any different. We're going to get a reading on that, get the bubbler out, hydrometer in. Let's see what this one comes out to be, because we are going to use the stuff in here. I'm going to dump this out. All right, we're going to dump this first little batch out because it's got a lot of the applesauce in it. Now, the hydrometer is a little hard to see here, so let's see what we come up with here. And off to the boil kettle with the pumpkin brew. I'm liking the color already. So we'll take the mash tun empty here, hope to gather, about 6.5 gallons. And then we have the pumpkin juice up in the other kettle over here, boiling away. Boiling too much away. Gonna get apple cinnamon beer here. It's done. I'm going to be kegging the other apple cinnamon beer, the other 5 gallons. But that's what it looks like right there. Looks wonderful. Nice head, nice carbonation. And the brew's going on outdoors right now, nice. Oh yeah, she's fully carbonated. I head outdoors with this one. We seem to have a stuck mash tun here. It's coming out slow. We gathered about 4 gallons of wort of our total 6.5 gallon volume here. I'll put a hose on there and give it a blow there, and she'll clean out if I need to. But for the meantime, I'm not in a rush. We're having one of my homebrew apples, cinnamons. And back behind you there, that 5 gallon pail on the thing is going to be drained into the keg there. That's the other apple cinnamon. They both finished at 1.014. And they come in at 7.5%, 7.6%. So they're good tasting beers. And I got a lot of it. I got a lot of it. To make things easier, it's a little pumpkin pie spice we put in the major pumpkin. The 8 pounds of pumpkin in a kettle here we're boiling. And 2 teaspoons of black pepper. Black pepper, standard black pepper that you would use on your potatoes. How you doing? And 1 spoonful of pumpkin pie spice, and 1 other spoonful is going to go into boil. So we're going to let this boil down here as we're collecting our mash, which we got a stuck mash going very slow. Very slow. Going to have to work on that again. But I got a home brew. Out of it, so. Here's the homemade pumpkin puree coming out. I'm debating whether to boil it again some more, but I don't think I'm going to have to. We're just going to use the thickness of that. The rest can settle in the boil kettle once we get the big stuff out. So we gathered 6 gallons of wort so far, and we did have a stuck mash tun, and she's still draining very slowly, but we do got enough. But we're going to catch as much of it as we can. Oh, the smell of this pumpkin is out of this world. 2.5 ounces of Hirschbrocker hops. 1 addition to the pumpkin spice beer. 1 addition. Today's National Pumpkin Day. Oh man, homebrews are getting to me. Today's National Pumpkin Day. This is a view from the little hot tub I'm in, resting my back as the pumpkin brew continues. And if you look closely, you can see the flame is lit. Pumpkin brew has just started to boil. We put the hops in like we just showed you. And we're going to relax a little bit here and then get out and put it in the other fermenter. We're going to take that fermenter there. That fermenter right there. We're going to take that and drain it into that keg right there. And then we're going to use the yeast and everything that's at the bottom there, all the krausen. We're going to take the cover off, and we're going to dump that new brew right there into that one, and we're going to let it ferment away. How you doing? I'm doing good. That's what we're going to do. The pumpkin brew is still brewing. We're brewing. How you doing? We're brewing. Brewing. Woohoo! How you doing? Hopefully we're not going to run out of gas. We're doing good. Doing good. Got the door open for ventilation. Got the fan on for ventilation. Got the lights on for excitement. Apple cinnamon beer. And in this here keg here, this little thing in front of me is apple cinnamon beer. We're drinking apple cinnamon beer today all over the place in a Miller glass. This is 7.68% apple cinnamon beer. It'll knock you on your kazoo. We got bees coming in again, attacking the Attacking the brew, we just put in 1 pound of candy sugar on the pumpkin brew. And the bees are coming. Here they come again. I'll be darned.
Yeah.
You gotta talk loud enough to say I forgot about it.
Yeah, poor Stoney, drinking his beer, forgot to put the vanilla in. So here we go. There you are, vanilla in.
Come up with a name for this beverage. It's called Trumpkin Pumpkin 2020.
Trumpkin Pumpkin 2020. There we go. Stoney's still relaxing, leaving the beer making to me. No trouble. Here goes the Irish moss.
Yeah, this batch number 82 today. It just happens to be a pumpkin beer we're making on National Pumpkin Day, October 26th. And we have what's here is a political beer called Trumpkin Pumpkin. Go figure. Why wouldn't I? With all the dirt going on in politics today, we decided to ferment this in a fermenter. Once we drain that apple cinnamon beer, it's called a dirty fermenter. Again, on with the Trumpkin Pumpkin Brew. We're ready to flame out here in a few minutes. We got the Irish moss in there. The wife showed you how to do that. How you doing? So we're going to flame out and into the dirty fermenter we go. Flame out. We're going to put the wort chiller in here and get this brew cooling down. Trumpkin Pumpkin is chilling, and I'm putting the apple to the keg. Here we go.
Look at me.
Here we go. Bubbles out. We'll get this in the kegerator under some CO2 and we're good to go. Back with the Trumpkin Pumpkin. On National Pumpkin Day, we are chilled down enough to put it into the dirty fermenter. Just like dirty politics goes, right into a dirty fermenter. Oh, shit, all over the floor. So on we go. This will ferment with the old yeast that was done with the apple cinnamon beer. Right on the old Krausen ring. Dirty politics. Why wouldn't I ferment in a dirty fermenter? Trumpkin Pumpkin 2020. Off to the dirty fermenter. Trumpkin Pumpkin off to the fermenter. No yeast is needed with dirty politics. It will ferment all by itself. How you doing? Yeah, well, so here we are, down to the last little bit of Trumpkin Pumpkin. 8 pounds of pumpkin. It's a nice orange beer.